Your ability to keep connections, it helps you to stay in a game for a very long time. Hello there, my name is Samara Ndoro, and thank you for taking the time to be watching me. Today I want to speak to you about value connections. Value relationships, you can either call them connections or networks. What can you do without other people? How far can we go without others? Therefore, it's important for us to really value any person, any individual that we come across with. If we spend our time investing in new relationships, we spend our time nurturing relationships, I don't think life would be so difficult for us. The more people we have around us, good relationships of course, it means that our lives become much more easier and easier. Having more relationships and connections with people, it simply means that you are a bigger person. You are actually accepting that you are weak in certain areas, but you also have a good eye to recognize the people that are around you, who has the skill sets to take you to the next point. I just want to encourage you that in your journey of your projects, in your journey of your life, make sure that you spend the time nurturing those relationships. And I tell you, people are not perfect. Therefore, you got to develop yourself a level of tolerance. You have to learn to tolerate people, that even in their bad parts, bad traits, you are still able to work with them. Because after all, you got to focus on the bigger picture. You don't need to focus on the little things that people cannot do, on the little things that people are struggling with, but you rather maximize on people's strengths, on people's skill sets, and of course on their capabilities. If we can master this, we will never ever struggle to do certain tasks in our lives. But remember, it's not only just about having the people in our lives. People need to be entertained. Just like the angels in the Bible, they had to be entertained in order for them to release a blessing to Sarah and Abraham. Yes, so you too now have to develop yourself some skill sets. Develop yourself some skill sets that can entertain those connections in your life and keep them alive. And like it or not, people get bored so easily. So they can easily walk away from your life. The question is, how are you going to keep them intact? How are you going to keep them in your life? That's what you need to think about. You need to think about that. I know that everybody loves to be loved, and I'm going to give you this tool for free because I love you. People love to be loved. They love to be celebrated. They love to be honored. So one of the greatest tools for you to keep your networks is to make sure that you listen to the people around you. Pay attention to every detail that they tell you about their lives. Check up on them. Say hello, good morning, how are you? How are those kids? Ask them, become a bit more intimate with them. Well, not the intimacy you might be thinking about, but intimacy in terms of nurturing those relationships. Just knowing, the family setup of a person, their likes, their dislikes is very important. Imagine somebody comes to you and say, "Hi John, how are you? And how are your kids? How is your family?" That makes you feel good, isn't it? Well, that's one way of entertaining people and keeping them much more closer. If you see, we are living in such a busy world. Some people call it a dog-eat world. Everybody is more interested on using other people. But now imagine striking somebody as a person who cares about their well-being, as a person who cares really about even their family setup. I think those people will be very close to you and they will never leave the side of you. Like it or not, the world is so busy, it's changing, it's evolving. Every day there are new things. Technology is just turning the world upside down. So mostly people don't have time for anybody else. But if you master to create time for people and listen to them and attentively when they speak, you will manage to keep those networks and those connections. After all, as people, we love We have to dwell and be comfortable in places where we are shown love, where we are shown appreciation, and where somebody says just thank you to us. That's where we love it. So in order for you to keep those connections, I have just given you a greatest tool. But just don't forget that you need the next person. You need to create those networks and invest in them and nurture them in order for you to see a movement as well in your life. You definitely need those connections in your journey. My name is Samara Ndoro, and thank you for tuning in, and I hope that those tools have helped you, and from now on you are going to work on those connections, on those networks, and nobody else will pass you by. And I trust that even the person in the room who nobody wants to talk to, you will go and talk to them, and you will always remember their names and remember every detail they told you about themselves. Alright, I will see you again next time, and have yourself a great time. Ciao, ciao.